Are we being put in a matrix? Now, people say we're in it already. No, let's not get so fast. Could it be that we're trying to be placed into one as we speak? Now, why are we going along these lines? Well, you know how Too Strong operates, right? We'll see something and we'll talk about it, but we have a really different viewpoint about it. That's this topic. The topic really is clones. Do they exist? Yeah, they do. How long have they been in existence? A while now, since the sheep, but more so, they've advanced the technology. They started in cells and they went to humans and then they went to birth and dogs, and you can get your dog cloned. There's a lot of things going on with clone. Well, we saw some video some time ago, and I guess you would today we would call them glitching. The so-called clones were glitching, but we had a different take on these. The purpose for the clones. Everyone talks about there being clones, and it's to fit the agenda and to make sure that particular person doesn't step out of line. We get that, but what is the real reason behind it? Is it just for the sake of replacing somebody, or just like with a recording, it's used for blackmail? Could it be that the clones were made specifically to keep people in line? We're going to give you some history as to why we got to this thought process. For a long time, we've covered on this channel the debauchery of music, the acting guild, and how they've led people into this false sense of security, also a false sense of reality with music and acting. Even down to the portion where we talked about rap music and the gateway that opens to another spiritual dimension that you don't want to mess with. And people say, well, rap music back in the day was different than back with that. Except, was it? We've kind of proven that it wasn't really that different. In fact, we've probably proven more so that it was really bad back then. And because of how awful it was, we've kind of become desensitized. And now we can look back and say, well, it wasn't that bad, because you're already in a position of looking at it as good. No different than the cloning. No different. Why? You see, because we're going to eventually learn to accept it. This is just our track record. As many of us say, I'm awake now and I will never buy into. Calm down. You might be being like Peter right now. I will never deny you, and then you do it 3 times. You see what I'm saying? So slow down. Don't jump ahead of yourself without really analyzing who you are in the face of what they're presenting. To say you won't fall for it, maybe you already have and you don't realize that you have. Maybe it is that you're listening to something, watching something, following something that is exactly what they want you to, and through all of your enlightenment, you might not be seeing what they're doing. Clones are like that. We think that they use them as collateral. This is what you do. You don't do it, we use the clone instead and we off you. I think it was Kid Boo. I think that was his name. Anyway, there was a rapper that came out talking about the fact that he was a clone. And everyone thought, hey, you crazy, you ain't no clone. And then he went online live, and apparently, this is what it looked like he was sitting next to himself.
Wait till we get top live. Now I'm gonna expose myself. A lot of y'all were talking about the clone being fake. Thought I was lying. Yo, come over here. You want me to do this? Yeah. We got the same tattoos, same hair, same genetic structure. Hey, look at my clone. Go ahead. What do you gotta say now?
Though they didn't touch, they didn't connect on the chair, but he was live with himself. There are some things out there that, the world is creating a whole lot of chaos to take your eyes off the true goal. We get that. But at the same time, just calling it a distraction does not help you understand it. So we're going to dive into the thing we call a distraction. Video after video of people staring into the camera, or they just kind of freeze up, or you see people like Eminem just kind of staring off into space. And is that really what happened, or is that in an effort to let you understand that clones are real? It just means that they're letting you know that we know you know, and we're okay with you knowing, because eventually you're going to accept it. See, they look at our history. We only want to get married. You let that happen. We only want to spy a little bit on you. We let that happen. We only want you to release that portion of your freedom. We let that happen. Okay, we don't want you to own that, but you can have this. We let that happen. We have a record of losing to their agenda. They've become quite adept of making sure we believe what they have to offer, though. In this case, it's cloning. Look, I can't tell you how many channels I've seen on the right where it's video after video after video of the clones, the clones, the clones, the clone wars, and this is what's going to happen. And we run with it to the point where we become hysterical about it. Maybe we don't realize that we're actually doing exactly what they want. We run with the theory, make it popular, make it palpable, and then when it eventually takes over, we can say, we knew, we knew it was going to happen. We've been telling, but you accepted it. Do you see how slick it is? You have now accepted a different version of man than the person you say created it. And they win because you accepted it. You took it. You said, that's how it's going to be from now on. You did all your research, all your looking into it, all your knowledge about it to accept it. Not reject, accept. The same way that people will do research on history of music, and music was better back then, and they come forward today and compare it to today. It was way better back then, but they didn't really analyze a whole lot of things. They just kind of took it. I can't tell you how many songs I've listened to. And when I listen to the lyrics now, I think to myself, how did I miss that? You remember that song, If I Could Fly, I'll take you up, I'll take you into the night and show you love. That song, old song. Did you know that the line, the verse just before it says, you're only 16 years old?
She's just 16 years old. Leave her alone, they say. I'll take you into the night and show you love.
He went to someone's house, a man's house, to try and date his 16-year-old daughter. That song made mass headways because of the beat, because of the music. And we kind of bought that. And I'm sure many of you probably listened to that song and never caught that. Why? Because for all our enlightenment, our base instincts seem to win. Same thing with cloning. For all the glitching on stage and the half eye open and people just kind of, and then some people pass off and then you see them come back, they're looking a little different. Even when the Jamie Foxx thing happened, everybody kind of accepted, well, Jamie Foxx a clone now. We just took it like, okay, that's okay. Oh, that's Kanye? No, that was the old Kanye. This is the new Kanye. This is a Kanye, clone. It's okay. Oh, that's not Eminem. That's an Eminem clone. And everyone's like, oh, okay, it's still Eminem. So what's the purpose of knowing it? If you just accept it. You know it's bad. You know it's evil. You still take it. What's all the research for? We believe that's what they do. They introduce it. They give you the rights to run with it because they know you're going to come right back and accept it. Maybe we should start breaking that mold and telling them out loud we will never accept that. I don't care how much we know about it or don't know, we are not accepting that. It will be perpetually and eternally wrong. Nothing you can do could make it right. I don't care how much you try to normalize it, it will never be normal. What if we did that? What if we broke the algorithm where they think they can tell us anything they want and we'll just suck it up like a sponge? The same way we bought the lie about music. Maybe it's time for us to shake things up and stop allowing them to rule the narrative. Maybe, just maybe, this is the stand we make. This is where we build our wall. This is where we say, this far you will go and no farther. I encourage you to take this stand because if you don't, every time they come up with something, you're going to fall for it. And eventually, you will never find bottom.